Back at it again. I want to talk about something today. I want to talk about the pandering the Biden administration is trying to employ because I don't think it's working. And that's the hilarious part. Like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you are new. Excuse me. And let's dive into some of the most recent incidences of the Biden administration pandering. Check it out. Now, of course, I can't play the rest of the audio of that, for copyright reasons, of course. But, you guys get it, okay? There's one, right? Here is another.
Y'all, I'm at the VP house. They playing Sexy Red.
Okay? Actually, I'll continue to play some of that. Here we go. I just won't play the audio. All right. Will not play the audio for obvious reasons. There's music playing in the background of that clip. Okay. Not only that, but I'm sure you guys remember this one.
I think that one did. That's awesome.
Ms. Barlow, please excuse Carter for his absence today, but I needed his advice, so we had lunch together.
President, coming over to the house. President, come.
Here's your food, Mr. President. It's a pleasure serving you.
All right, man.
This is a very unique day, a very special day.
Dude, we got to eat dinner with Joe Biden. That's fire, like, the president's coming.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, man.
Thank you, sir.
Keep the faith.
Couldn't really believe that the president was coming to our house.
Welcome, Rob. We really appreciate you coming to our.
Come on, man. This is a pain in the neck for you.
This is all great. So what we'd like to do is just come into our space, our living area.
All right.
Well, Carter, you want to show President Biden one of your pictures?
Oh, that's cool. Oh, man, you got chicken fingers. You got the whole deal. I went the route of making sure I had a hamburger. So tell me about you guys. What you doing these days?
Bringing the black family fried chicken while he eats a burger. Yeah, great. Here's another incident.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, well, not Joe, but yeah, you.
Yeah, Glow.
That is rapper Glorilla. I'm sure he has no clue who she is. But, yeah, that was her. And here's her afterwards doing an interview on CNN.
What was it like meeting President Biden and Vice President Harris?
It was so cool. I was geeked. Like, everybody don't get to meet the president and the vice president. And so, like, just being able to be in the White House, like I never in a million years thought I'd be in the White House. Then I was in the White House and got to meet the president and vice president. Oh, they can't mess with me. Like, I just feel like, oh, you feel me?
And he also sounded like he knew your music as well, Gloria. I mean, I want to read a part, though, of a text that your mother sent you after your visit to the White House. It was so sweet. Let me read this to you. It says, quote, "I've come from being the woman with a bunch of kids living in a blue house with no real furniture in Frasier to the classiest, most beautiful, and most talented rapper of this generation's mom who's moved on up to a beautifully furnished house. Get 'em, Glow." That is so sweet. Talk to me about what that message meant to you.
It meant everything to me because we really did come from absolute nothing. Like,
Yeah, we ain't gonna play the rest of that. Okay. So yeah, pandering like crazy, but like I said, I don't think that it is working. But don't take it from me. CBS can tell you.
But I think what we're seeing is not just a softening, but a real questioning of whether or not folks' lives were better 4 years ago or in the past than they are now. And we're talking about voters of color. They don't necessarily see, I've been focusing a lot on black women, prominent black women across the country, don't necessarily see themselves within the Biden campaign. And that's been a big problem because they say that it is reflective of the issues that we're seeing that black voters may have with the Biden campaign. But I think what we're seeing is not just a softening, but a real
All that pandering only to have some terrible poll numbers. Now, once again, I pay attention to social media, and I may even bring up some posts after this clip because this clip is rather long. So bear with me here. I'm probably just going to let it play and not say anything. It's like a 9-minute clip. Just want to get through it. It's rather long. I don't want to keep y'all here all day. Okay. But I'll try to make minimal interruptions in this clip. But yeah, I think most of America is waking up to the truth. And the truth is that they're trying to pander. Because I monitor social media, and whenever some of these things pop up and a leftist account post it, I go and read through the comments, as I've told you guys plenty of times. And what I'm seeing is a lot of people are actually saying that. Oh, stop pandering. Joe, you still got to get out of there. Oh, Joe, we don't care. No, Joe, here he goes again. You know, those types of comments are popping up on these social media pages that are typically Democrat leaning, in my humble opinion. So when I'm seeing that, I'm like, yes, people are getting it. And the polls show it too. Check it out.
Right, there is a brand new poll of the presidential race out, and it shows Donald Trump with one of the largest leads he has enjoyed in polling. You have a little bit of the why, Harry.
Yes. The why. Why is Donald Trump ahead in this particular poll? And it really comes down to voters of color. I was digging through the crosstabs, and I want you to take a look at Ann Selzer's poll back in March of 2020, one in which Joe Biden was ahead by 4 points. Obviously, now Donald Trump's ahead by 7. Now, if you look here, March in 2020, among voters of color, look at that. Joe Biden had a 45-point advantage. You look now at this most recent poll that Ann Selzer put out in March of 2024. Biden still leads among voters of color, but that lead has been slashed to just 11 points. There was just a 3-point movement among white voters. The reason why Donald Trump is leading now in this Selzer poll as compared to 4 years ago is voters of color, this margin dropping by 34 percentage points. John, I got to be honest with you, I've never seen anything quite like this from one 4-year period to the next.
All right, dig deeper.
Dig deeper. So what is going on with voters of color? I decided to look at our last 2 CNN SSRS polls, and it shows a similar pattern among voters of color overall compared to 4 years ago. Why is this? Why do we see Biden doing significantly worse among voters of color? Look at this. Among voters of color age 45 and older, Biden still has a significant lead, a 35-point lead. Look at voters of color under the age of 45. It's just a 4-point advantage, John. It's just a 4-point advantage. Oh, apparently my sleeve caught it a little bit. Just a 4-point advantage for Biden here. So what's going on in this particular case is 4 years ago, we did not have the same split by this age breakdown. Voters of color basically voted consistently among those older and younger. Now we have a massive split, interestingly enough, the reverse split that we have among white voters, where voters of color under the age of 45 are significantly more Republican.
All right, when we say voters of color, that's a pretty broad group
Yes,
that encompasses many different things.
It does. But so I decided to break it down amongst black voters and Hispanic voters. And this is the polling at this point in time. Take a look in March of 2020 versus March of 2024. Look, among black voters, Joe Biden had a 72-point advantage 4 years ago at this point. Look at where it is now. It's 50 points. Still a significant lead, but significantly smaller. And among Hispanic voters, it was 21 points at this point 4 years ago. Now it's just 2 points. So we're seeing it across the board.
What's interesting there is statistically, that's the exact same drop. It's about a 20-point drop among each group.
That's exactly right.
All right, what about the policies, the policies from President Biden?
Yeah, policies that helped you personally. Among black voters,
I definitely wish that drop was higher, and I think it will continue to get worse for Biden, but let's continue on.
26% say Trump's policies helped them versus just 17% for, say, Biden's policies helped them. The same thing amongst Hispanics. More Hispanic voters say that Trump's policies helped them versus Biden's policies helped them. So the polling kind of just lines up here, John, and it's a big shift. It's something, honestly, I've never seen before. So the real question is, are the polls picking up on something new and fresh, or are the polls wrong? I tend to think the polls are right, but this is quite a dramatic thing going on.
Well, it certainly gives the Biden campaign a clear target going forward in a sense of what they have to do. Right, this morning, new CNN polling gives us a snapshot of 2 critical swing states that flipped from red to blue in 2020 after being blue before that. In Pennsylvania, you can see right there, it's a dead heat between President Biden and Donald Trump. In Michigan, which was crucial to Biden's 2020 win, Donald Trump leads by 8 points now. Governor Dean, I want to start with you, and I want to look at the question of issues in Michigan just to show people where President Biden is trailing Donald Trump right now, and it's just about on everything. Look at that. In Michigan, which candidate would better handle that issue if elected? Donald Trump with huge leads on the economy and immigration.
Now, I do have to interject one more time. I'm sorry. But notice that Trump is winning on every single issue except for one. Notice what that one is. And remember, I've made like 2 whole videos on this addressing this. And I said, do not, I repeat, do not plant your flag on this one issue. Don't do it. We will lose. We kind of got a taste of it. Remember, we were supposed to have a red wave. Everything pointed towards the red wave. And it was more of just like a red mist. What was the one issue we were losing on? The same one that we're still losing on. That was it. That was it. And some people call me crazy. Oh, no. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, it's common sense. When you look across the board, we're winning on every single issue. Every single one except for one. That's the reason why that red wave became just a mist. That's it. So when Trump came out and he said, I'm not going to take a hard stance on this issue, I'm going to agree to whatever the American people agree to, I said, that's a smart guy. That's a Trump 2.0. That's a Republican that is using or moving strategically rather than just saying whatever, right? That's what you have to do. I'm sorry, whether you like it, love it, or hate it, that's what we have to do. And people can say, oh, well, I want to save the kids. Well, you're not going to save any kids by planting your flag on that issue and you don't win in the election. And you allow Democrats to win and they just have unfettered, abortions. So, yeah, you're putting more kids at risk by taking that stance versus saying, yeah, whatever the American people agree to, I'll agree to that. Sure, yep. I didn't say that I wouldn't try to re-educate the population on what that actually is and why it's bad, which is, I think that should be the strategy. And I'm sure that will be Trump's administration strategy. Initially, hey, we're going to go with whatever you guys want to go with, right? We're going to go with that. But in the meantime, in between time, we're going to show you exactly what this all entails, why we think it's bad personally. Now, once again, you still have it. Well, we just want you to see what it actually is. Them yanking, the graphic portions of it. We ain't gonna get too graphic here. We gonna keep it PG. But you know what I mean. Re-educate, and then after a couple of years, you reintroduce the question again. See how people feel then. That's the way you win on this issue, not by planting your flag. Let's continue.
Israel Gaza a huge lead. He even leads on who would better handle democracy in the United States. A guy who tried to overturn the results of an election in 2020 ahead on that, albeit only by 2 points. And even on abortion, Joe Biden's lead is only 8 points. So, Governor Dean, what has gone wrong in Michigan so far, and how does the Biden campaign fix it?
These numbers are not good. If you're Joe Biden, and right after State of the Union, we heard, wow, this is great. There's a big bounce. State of the Union, he's out. We're running strong now. Things are going to change. And nothing's changed. The job disapproval numbers in this poll, John, are terrible in both Pennsylvania and Michigan for President Biden. They haven't gotten any better. He's at 60% unfavorable in Pennsylvania. I mean, job disapproval rating, 60% of people think he's doing a bad job. Like you said, Donald Trump is ahead. I could tell you, in 2016, when I ran the race in Pennsylvania, we were 8 points down at best. 8 points, and we won. Okay, so if we're tied or ahead in these states, that's devastating for the Biden administration. Devastating. And to turn this narrative around in this quick a time, it's going to be a very big challenge for the Democrats.
Let's also turn to this. New CNN polling out this morning with a fresh look at what voters are thinking and how they are feeling in 2 battleground states, Michigan and Pennsylvania. They were key to President Biden's win in 2020, and the new data shows his campaign may have work to do in order to win them this time around. What do you see in these numbers first and foremost?
What do I
Start us
see?
off.
What do I see in these numbers? All right. First case, this Michigan numbers. Oh, these are not good for the incumbent president of the United States. Donald Trump at 50%, Joe Biden at 42%. I looked back at the 2020 polling, and at no point during the campaign was there a single poll that met CNN standards for publication in which Donald Trump led Joe Biden. There were zero. Here we already have one, and I looked at the average of polls, and I looked at our previous CNN poll, and they all show the same thing, which is that Donald Trump is ahead of Joe Biden in the Wolverine state. You go over to Michigan, look. No clear leader. That's the key thing going on. These two gentlemen are tied. But again, this is a state that Joe Biden won last time around by a little bit more than a percentage point. So this is not the type of polling that Joe Biden wants to see here, but clearly in much better shape in Pennsylvania than in Michigan.
I was going to say the Biden campaign can take some comfort in here in the numbers and where the support maintains. But Michigan seems to be where they are probably looking closer and where there's work to do. What's the biggest change in Michigan from last election that you're seeing here?
You know, this is something I have been harping on and harping on and harping on. So let's break this down by race, right? Let's look at voters of color, look at white voters. And what we see here is back in 2020, according to the exit poll, Joe Biden won voters of color in Michigan by 62 points. Look at that advantage today. It has been sliced by a third, only 21 points. That's Joe Biden's lead over Donald Trump among voters of color. Among white voters, Donald Trump has gained a little bit of steam as well. It was 11 points in 2020. His margin over Joe Biden right now is 16 points. But the decline in support for Joe Biden among voters of color in Michigan is something we've been seeing in state after state after state and nationally as well, where he's got some big problems. This is a historic low amount of support for a Democratic presidential candidate among voters of color, and it seems to be happening across the board, Kate. Thinking about what you want in President Biden's sharpness and stamina are exactly what you want. This is where I think Joe Biden wants voters to be. It's only 7%. Close enough, 24%. How about not what you want in Michigan? 69%. 69% not what you want. This, to me, is the big problem for Joe Biden.
Polls are a snapshot in time.
Yes.
What does this snapshot in time say about the electoral?
Yeah, I've been waiting to press that button so you could get all of those. Just there, just waiting for it.
Well, the caveats matter.
Caveats do matter, absolutely. Based on recent polling and past results, Donald Trump leading in the Electoral College right at this particular point.
It's good to see you, Harry.
Nice to see you.
Thank you. John.
So in Michigan, Trump is ahead of President Joe Biden. That is.
Oh, man. Beautiful to see, right? Even amongst all of the pandering, it is not working. Not even a little bit. You know, that's the funny thing about all of this. I'm trying to see if I can find the post. I might have saved them from social media. I'm trying to scroll through here and see if I still have them, but it's looking like I don't, unfortunately. Goodness gracious. Yeah, no. I'm not seeing it. Oh, wait. What's this one? This is one. I found one, guys. I found one. Y'all know I keep it real here. Hey, sometimes I improvise. Y'all know. This isn't a bought and paid for show, okay? Sometimes I improvise a little bit, but I do want to show you guys. Can I pause this video clip? Yes, I can. Okay, cool. Take a look at this. Okay, so this is a video with Kamala Harris and Fat Joe.
I love to, and I listen to. Okay, so here we are.
Let's talk about why I was invited to moderate, and I leave everything for you.
So we're here today because under our administration, Joe Biden and my administration, we have pardoned people who have been convicted of under the federal law for marijuana offenses for some.
If you know, you know. Anyway. Well, how shameful is this? Now, read through this comment section. Fat Joe pulled up to the White House. By the way, if you don't know who Fat Joe is, he is a famous rapper Okay. I don't think he really makes a whole lot of music anymore, but he was big in rap at one point in time, like the 2000s, maybe the 2010s area, early 2010s, 2000s, that time frame, right? It was really big, really popular in rap. Okay, he got invited to the White House, and check out the comment section. Fat Joe pulled up to the White House. Fat L for Fat Joe. Fat L. Huge L. I'm sorry. That's just hilarious. Did y'all get the joke? Fat L for Fat Joe. Huge L. They're making a play on him being fat. Anyway, sellout. She's trash. Nobody cares about you being with a politician. Publicity stunt. Fat Joe is an op, meaning like he's like opposition, like he's part of the other team, right? This lame AF, which AF stands for as fuck. You know, we still not voting for her. So now she wants to party all the homies she locked up. Can't wait for Trump to win. Yo, long story short, man, I'm gonna let y'all get out of here, okay? But their pandering is not working, and I'm loving it. I'm loving looking at these posts and watching people have their eyes wide open and really seeing what's going on here. They do the same thing every 4 years. Oh, we're going to bring a bunch of black celebrities and we're going to put them in your face and we're going to parade them around and we're going to key with them and ha, you know, do the whole thing. But people aren't buying it anymore. And I'm happy to see that people are a lot smarter this go around. I'm happy to see it. Happy to see it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Trump 24, baby. What can I say? They can't stop this train. Y'all let me know what you thought about this one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment. Hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.